Watch a toddler scrape a knee or an adult receive devastating news. In those moments of sudden distress, the immediate physical response is almost always the same. We reach for a drink, we drop to pray, or we grasp for another human being. The common denominator behind all these reactions is the instinctual, hardwired search for a safe haven. A safe haven is a reliable external source, usually a person, that helps us regulate our nervous system and find calm when we feel threatened. Human beings are built for connection. Down to the cellular level of our nervous systems, we are not biologically designed to self-regulate in total isolation. We need others to help us process pain. But what happens when the very people supposed to provide that safety, our parents or early caregivers, were unpredictable, absent, or even a source of fear? That early lack of safety creates a psychological vacuum. The brain does not simply stop looking for a safe haven. It begins scanning the environment for a surrogate. The biological and spiritual drive to find a refuge remains completely intact. When human caregivers fail, that survival instinct latches on to whatever reliable substitute it can find, no matter how dangerous that substitute might be. In the mid-20th century, a psychiatrist named John Bowlby proposed that our drive to attach to a caregiver is a primal survival instinct. Bowlby argued that we are born with a biological imperative to seek proximity to others to stay alive. He formulated this theory observing the profound anxiety of children separated from their parents during the mass evacuations of the World War II Blitz. A researcher and colleague named Mary Ainsworth expanded on this work by studying exactly how infants behave when this primal bond is tested. Ainsworth developed structured experiments to observe how children react when caregivers leave a room and then return. This diagram illustrates the 4 functional pillars of human attachment. First is proximity seeking, the drive to stay physically close to the people we rely on. Next is safe haven, the act of returning to that person for comfort when frightened. Then there is secure base, using that trusted person as a foundation to confidently explore the world. Finally, separation protest, the anxiety we experience when that caregiver becomes unavailable. This biological hardwiring provides the framework for spiritual life. The same psychological mechanics we use to find safety in a parent are the ones we recruit to find peace in a higher power. This suggests that our attachment system was designed from the beginning to lead us back to a divine source of security. Worship is a biological lifestyle, a constant state of proximity seeking toward whatever we hold as our ultimate source of safety. This schematic represents internal working models. These are the unconscious mental blueprints formed in childhood that dictate how we navigate trust and fear in all future relationships. When these pathways are healthy, we expect others to be reliable, but trauma or inconsistency distorts the blueprint. In an anxious attachment style, the pathways become hyperactive. The individual experiences constant hypervigilance and a clinging fear of abandonment. In an avoidant attachment style, emotional needs are completely suppressed. The person relies strictly on themselves and blocks out connection to avoid the pain of rejection. Then there is the disorganized attachment style. This fearful state develops when a child's source of comfort was simultaneously their source of terror, creating a chaotic push and pull dynamic in the brain. When the attachment system operates in any of these insecure states, the brain still demands a way to regulate its distress. It recruits substitutes, substances or compulsive behaviors, and gives birth to addiction. Addiction operates as a worship disorder. It is a displaced attachment response, where a chemical or a habit becomes a counterfeit refuge, offering temporary relief without requiring genuine trust. The individual ends up recruiting a created thing to do the neurological and spiritual job that only the creator was designed to do. Addiction is a profound disease of isolation and false worship. It functions as an adaptive survival response to overwhelming pain, driven by a neurological blueprint that never learned how to trust. Forced abstinence or clinical medication alone rarely holds up long-term. You cannot fix a broken relational blueprint with an isolated behavioral rule. Overriding those broken internal working models requires the safety of new, secure human relationships. Therapy, support groups, and healthy community provide the consistent trust needed to slowly rewrite the brain's pathways. There is also a necessary spiritual dimension to this recovery. It involves the careful process of reattaching the individual's heart back to God, the true secure base. If you find yourself reaching out in the dark for a way to numb the pain, that deep search for a safe haven is not a weakness. It is a core feature of your human design. Recovery succeeds when that desperate human need for a refuge finally anchors in a place built to sustain it.